If you are posting on TikTok and barely getting any views, you are making 3 crucial mistakes which are keeping you stuck. And I know this because I used to make the same mistakes myself. I would spend hours making what I thought were great videos only to get 200 views. Meanwhile, I'd see other people blowing up on their first video with millions of views, and I just could not seem to figure out what I was doing wrong. Then I found out the truth. TikTok does not reward effort. It rewards strategy. And if you don't understand how the algorithm works, you will continuously be wasting your time posting videos that nobody wants to watch. And in this video, I'm exposing the 3 biggest mistakes that are absolutely killing your views. And more importantly, I'll show you how to fix them so you can start hitting that For You page more consistently. And I promise, this is not the same post consistently or use trending sounds advice that you hear literally everywhere else. Most people think TikTok just kind of randomly decides what videos go viral, but that's not how it works. The algorithm is way more intentional than you think. Here's the secret. TikTok doesn't just push your videos to everyone. It pushes it to specific groups of people. But if TikTok doesn't know who your audience is, your video will get shown to random people who don't care, and then you're not going to get any views. Let me break it down. When you post a video, TikTok will immediately test it on a pretty small group of users. If those people watch the video, engage with it, like, comment, share, TikTok will then show it to some more people. But if your video doesn't fit in a clear category, it'll get pushed to that random audience, which will lead to low engagement, low watch time, and low reach. And then your video will get stuck. And trust me, I know, like, that sucks. That's like one of the worst things that can happen. You need to train TikTok's algorithm to understand who your content is for. Let me give you an example. One of the first products I ever sold on TikTok was a black seed oil supplement. And when I first started selling it, I did not do my customer research well enough. Because what I did was I ended up just making classic TikTok style content for it. I filmed some cool B-roll clips of me holding it, and I would edit those with some cool AI images, and I was going at least semi-viral and getting some views, but the sales just weren't there. So then I took a step back and I'm like, okay, well, who buys this product to begin with? And I realized that while my videos were engaging and they were getting views, the trust was not there. That's because I had absolutely no clips of anyone actually consuming the supplement in the video. So what did I do? I changed it up. I got some B-roll clips of one of my friends who's in her 20s taking the product, and then I started integrating that into my videos. And I'm not even kidding you, my sales, I think, tripled in like a week. Now, if you don't know how to find content that your audience likes, you need to engage with other content in that niche that you want to target. Like, comment, and watch all the way through videos that are similar to the ones you want to make. So then eventually your For You page will start showing you more and more of that style of content and will essentially become an endless source of video inspiration. Just look at what's already working. Find the biggest content creators in your niche and then just reverse engineer what makes their content go viral. Once TikTok understands who your audience is, your videos will start reaching the right people. And that is when the growth happens. And now look, I get it. This can be kind of confusing. I just wanted to mention that if you are struggling to get views on TikTok or really any short form content platform, I just launched a completely free email list where I'll be sending out even more tips, strategy, and more to your inbox. So if you want to join, check it out. Link is in the description. Anyways, let's get into the next mistake that you are probably making. You need to understand, even if your content is amazing, if the first 2 seconds don't grab people's attention, nobody is ever going to see it. This is why so many videos die before they even get a chance, because they just start too slow. The average person will scroll past a video in roughly 1.5 seconds, unless you give them a reason to stop and keep watching. And those first 2 to maybe even 5 seconds of your video are called the hook. And out of all the people I speak to, the majority of them struggle with this. So let me break it down. A good hook is something that captures people's attention and sparks an emotion. And of course, it's completely up to you how you do this. But for me, this is what usually works best. Let me give an example. Let's say I'm making a video on cooking. An example of a bad hook would be something like, here's how to cook. Boring. Now, a good example for a video on cooking, your cooking sucks, but I'm going to tell you how to fix it. Notice how the first hook is bland, no emotion, but then the second hook, the good one, it almost offends them initially. Because if, I'm trying to learn how to cook, and someone tells me that my cooking sucks, I'm like, what do you mean my cooking sucks? And they follow it up with, but I'm going to tell you how to fix it. Well, then I'd be like, okay, let's see if this person really does know more than me. The key takeaway is notice how the second hook did a notably better job of sparking some emotion and capturing their attention. If your hooks almost force people to stay and watch, that will lead to your watch time getting better and TikTok pushing your videos to more people. Which leads me to mistake number 3, is that you are losing your viewers halfway through your video. Even if your hook is perfect, if people stop watching your video 5 seconds in, there's a pretty good chance it won't go viral. Here's something most people don't realize. TikTok doesn't really care how many people watch your video. It cares how many people watch your whole video. So if people keep dropping off before the end, TikTok is going to assume that it's not that interesting and it'll stop pushing it out to more people. Getting people's attention can be the easy part, but keeping it is when it can get a little tricky. So here are the strategies that I use to keep people watched. First, you got to keep the cuts fast. No rambling, no long pauses. Every second counts. Switch shots often. Change up the camera angle. Keep the pace moving. The faster you move, the more likely people will stay to the end. Next, you want to tease something early on. You could say something like, I'm about to show you a huge mistake that a lot of people make. And if you don't fix it, it could cost you big. That's enough to get people watching to find out what that mistake is. Then, change things up in the video. If you're staying in one place or using the same shot for too long, usually people are going to get a little bored. Switch camera angles, add text, or even sound effects to keep the viewer engaged with surprises. Little changes here and there are enough to make your video feel more dynamic. Now, here is where the magic happens. Storytelling. People remember stories. If you just give out tips, it's easy for people to zone out. But if you wrap those tips into a story, people will listen. Stories make it relatable, and people connect with that. Finally, the payoff. This is the most important part. You've grabbed their attention, you've kept them engaged. Now you need to give them something that makes it all seem worth it. If you follow everything that I've said in this video, you will go viral. But if you are still struggling, make sure to watch this video right here.